Hey guys, JD Sutar, Ravens guy, AFC Northerners, and this is it. Week 17. The Ravens are home, and this game against the Browns decides our fate. And it's kind of poetic when you really think about it. I mean, our entire season hinges on whether or not we can beat the Browns. And this team, Baltimore Ravens, we can trace our route directly back without any question to the Browns franchise, right? And even though I personally don't like how we acquired the Ravens, I'm very proud of the Ravens for what we've accomplished. But this year, I am extremely proud of what the Browns have done and what they've accomplished. And I say this with all grace and humility that I am truly concerned about whether the Baltimore Ravens can pull out a win in this game. So Browns fans, I'm going to give you notice right here in this video. I am going to give you every compliment that you deserve, and you deserve a lot of them, all right? I truly have a lot of respect going into this, and I'll tell you all about it. So let's get started. So Dave Green, Browns guy, already did a video on the Browns going into Baltimore, and it really wasn't heavy on details, not a lot of ranting about Baker Mayfield. But let's touch on some of the things that he did discuss, and let's address them. All right, so point that DGBG made, number one. The Ravens secondary isn't as good as the Brown receivers. No. See, I was totally with you if you had said the Browns receivers are better than the Baltimore receivers. Totally think that's absolutely true. You guys have Jarvis Landry, Njoku, Perryman has been a really great pickup for you, way better than he was for us, and so many others. But to say that your wide receivers are better than our secondary simply just doesn't hold water when you look at the games that we played against teams like the Chargers and Kansas City. And I know what you're saying, but you lost to Kansas City. Yeah, go back, watch that game again. Pump the brakes on that one for a moment. So number two of DGBG's point was that if you contain Lamar and make him throw, he'll make bad throws and you win. Now, I agree that if you try to contain him more, it will force him to throw, but I don't think Lamar's throwing is what's going to do him in. I mean, if you look at the pass to Mark Andrews that was a 69-yard touchdown just last week, you'll see exactly the kind of threat and arm that Lamar Jackson has. To simply dismiss and say that he doesn't have an arm, I think is very, very problematic. Now, I agree with the mindset that if you were able to contain him, it will force him to throw more, but I just don't think that to say that if you contain him, he'll throw, and that's the end of the game, I just find that to be very, very problematic in the logic department. Third point that DGBG made was that the Browns are going to win 17-15. I'll get into this at the end of the video, but let's just say I disagree with that right now, and for a lot of different reasons. We do both, however, agree that Cincinnati winning would be better than the Steelers winning, but I really don't see that happening. So let's move on. So let's talk about what we need to think about going into this game. First, the AFC North is ours, the Ravens. But we absolutely can lose it right here. I mean, the Bengals aren't going to beat the Steelers, so all of this is totally on us. If we don't bring it on Sunday, we have no one to blame but ourselves. And maybe the refs. Now, I know I don't need to remind Ravens fans what happened in Cincinnati last year at the very end whenever Cincinnati on a 4th and 12 completely just took our playoff chances away. We simply can't let another 4th and 12 happen in this game. The Browns have nothing to lose. They have the ability to go in totally relaxed. And I know a lot of Browns fans who are thinking that because you beat us once can beat us again easily. Now, I'm going to have to say that that simply isn't true, especially if you look at the last game when we played the Chargers. Not only did we beat them, but we beat them and let them have less points than what you did, Browns fans. The Chargers only allowed the Browns to score 14 points, which was 2 field goals, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. And I'm going to touch on 2-point conversions because that's an interesting thing here in a moment. But let's think about this, right? If the game they played against the Chargers and the difference in the game that we played against the Chargers doesn't serve as a wake-up call to how different the Ravens are now versus the way we were earlier in the season, I don't know what will, especially with how Lamar played the Chargers defense and Baker Mayfield didn't. Overall, I really think that this is two very different teams. The Browns have a very different feel from whenever we played them because we played them under Hugh Jackson and not Greg Williams. Hugh Jackson is no longer with the Browns. So just a lot of changes here. Okay, so let's discuss weird stats, because this is my favorite part. So the Browns are seeking the first sweep of Ravens since 2007, and the Browns and Ravens, they seem to play almost incestuous with each other's players. I mean, with player trades and acquisitions. Browns backup quarterback Tyrod Taylor used to play for the Ravens. Brashad Perriman, wide receiver, was a Raven. Carl Davis was a defensive tackle in Baltimore. They all played here. RG3, who is now the backup quarterback to Lamar Jackson, along with Flacco, he played in Cleveland in 2016 before coming to Baltimore. I feel like the Trump administration has less turnover than these two teams. Now, the Browns have won 3 straight and 5 out of 6 under interim coach Greg Williams, who has emerged as a legitimate candidate to get full-time gig right there. Some of you may remember Greg Williams as one of the people involved in the New Orleans Saints Bountygate scandal. So the Browns have the ability to clinch their first winning record since 2007, which was 10-6. And this victory could mean all of that. And even more impressive is the Browns' 7-game improvement since last season of 0-16, which is the largest in team history. A win would give the Browns just their 3rd winning season since 1999. Damn! Baltimore is also 17-8 at home in December under Harbaugh, so that's something else to consider. One of the other things that's different from the last game and now is Flacco is now no longer under center. We have Lamar Jackson. Dixon was out then. Gus Edwards, I don't think he was even on the teams. And Alex Collins was our #1 running back. John Brown didn't play. Jimmy Smith, I think, played only 40% of the snaps. He was still injured. Bernard Pierce was our best player. He didn't even play. And we also have a healthy Tim Williams back. Add to that a slew of offensive play calling changes and our defense really starting to click in radically better ways, along with having a much healthier secondary. And I think that pretty much means that it's 2 completely different teams. It's just 2 different teams. If you can't see that, then I don't know. That's what makes this game really exciting, is there's so many variables that we just don't know what's gonna happen. So Ravens on offense. We've got Lamar Jackson, who is 5-1 in the first 6 career starts, tied for the 3rd best in NFL history. Gus Edwards leads Baltimore with 642 yards rushing, and Jackson leads with 605, and both of them are rookies. On the Ravens defensive line, you had Suggs with 19 sacks versus the Browns, 4 in the last 6 games, and Sizzle's also about to pass Ray Lewis for the most games with the Ravens. I think the previous record was 229. Suggs only needs 1 more sack to tie John Abraham for 12th in the career list of 133.5 sacks. On the Ravens secondary, Eric Weddle has 4 interceptions in the last 5 games versus the Browns. Also, fun fact, Ravens cornerback Brandon Carr has started 175 straight games. 2nd longest active streak in the NFL behind Phillip Rivers, who he just beat. Now on special teams, Justin Tucker has been amazing. He did miss that 65-yarder. By the way, I just read somewhere that, I don't know if any of you guys heard about the fact that the Ravens are saying that the balls felt different in Los Angeles and they were kind of weird whenever they were playing the Chargers. So apparently Justin Tucker was complaining about it and something is being looked into. So that's something to keep an eye on. Other than that, you've also got Sam Cook and you've got Cyrus there as well, that he's making really interesting plays along with Chris Moore. Occasionally he's fielding punts and kicks as well. And the Browns have a really not bad special teams too. So again, lots of variables. Now the Browns offense with Baker Mayfield, who has 24 touchdown passes. He's only 2 shy of the league rookie record shaped by Peyton Manning in 1998 and Russell Wilson in 2012. And the Browns rookie Nick Chubb, he's only 28 yards shy of reaching a 100-yard plateau, which is crazy because the Browns haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher since Peyton Hitless in 2010. Jarvis Landry leads Cleveland with 76 catches, and I think that he is one of the 9 Browns with at least 1 touchdown reception. Now the Browns are also the team most likely to go for 2 points every single time they score a touchdown. So we need to make sure to prevent them from getting those 2-point conversions, because those things add up, and that could really mean the game and our ass. So on defense, Myles Garrett is probably one of their most insane weapons to be used in this game, and I got a feeling he's just going to want to go all out to get a hold of Lamar Jackson and get him down. But he's not the only problem on that defense. The Browns defense isn't bad at all. they don't just have Myles Garrett. He may be the star on that side, but they got a lot of weapons that they're going to use every single one of them against us. I think the only weapon that they're not going to have available to them is their rookie corner Ward. So we have a little bit of leeway, but other than that, they're pretty healthy and doing all right. What does this all mean? Well, first, I've got some questions about this game whenever you're thinking about it. One is the big one. Is Harbaugh the better coach here? I mean, to me, I have to say yes. Greg Williams is a great defensive coach. He's done some amazing things in Cleveland to turn the team around. But whenever it comes to record and wins and coaching style, I just think that Harbaugh has a better winning record as a coach. Don't get me wrong. Respect the hell out of Greg Williams. But I don't think he's a better coach in the circumstance. But obviously, we're going to see on Sunday. What is my final prediction for this game? You're not going to like it. Because I don't think the Ravens win this. I don't think the Browns win this. I think they tie it. Think about this. You have two hard-nosed, determined teams that are fighting for radically different reasons. The Browns not only want to send their arch rival out of the playoffs, other than, of course, the Steelers, but they also want to establish themselves as being the team that was able to beat the #1 defense in the league. That's bragging rights. Why wouldn't Baker Mayfield want that? I would. The Ravens, of course, want to beat the Browns so that they can get into the playoffs. That way they can have at least the 4th seed, if not better. And I just think that both teams are going to put up a lot of things in the air to try and stop each other from winning and make it the most dramatic game of football going into the playoffs that I can think of as of recent. My prediction for this game is a score of 21-21 tied. I think that what's going to happen is that, yes, we're going to go into overtime. I think it's going to be back and forth, but I think that their defense and our defense can legitimately keep each other out of the red zone, even from making a kick that winds up going if they really want to, if they really are determined to. I really think it comes down at the end of this game to who has the most amount of heart, and I think that both teams are pretty fucking equal there. So it'll be the first time since 2014 that we can be in the playoffs, and if we win, I'm telling you right now, here, live on camera, that I swear to God, if we make it to the playoffs, I will dye my beard and my hair, everything, purple. Scout's honor. Swear to God. So if we wind up going to the playoffs, all of this gonna be purple. Yeah, I'll make that bet with you. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Make sure you check out all the other videos for this week's upcoming games from our Steelers guys, DGBG. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. I want to hear from you. Browns fans, of course, my Ravens fans. I want to know what you think is going to happen. I know there's a lot of trash talk here, and of course there is. I love it. But let's really discuss the scenarios that come out of this game and who is going to reign as king of the AFC North. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I'm the Ravens guy, JD Sutar. Fuck the Patriots. Fuck the Browns. Let's go get this W. That would be amazing. And let's hope I have to dye my hair purple. Anyway, guys, check it out later. Again, please subscribe and comment. Let me know what you think. In the meantime, take care. JD Sutar, Ravens.